Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's a pretty dope version of the song. Alright. Crash counter, set that back to 0. Oh man. Howdy everyone. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome. My name is Cakes. Yeah. I'm gonna be animating part 2 of this Sylvanas animation I have. Thinking about it all darn day. About how to change it up. And we're gonna be the second half of the blocking pass because I have a much better idea for it. So alright, so we have a blocking pass again. Actually, rigs. We got both of these rigs by CG Truon. Very, very good rigger. I believe animator as well. I'm sure they animate. Grab both of these rigs from him or her. I actually don't. But we got the Sylvanas rig, which is absolutely phenomenal. I believe it was also rigged using the skeleton. It has the damn near same control skeleton. Just a few extras, including her bow. Same thing with the work rig, which I did have pulled. Well, it's on there. It's on CG Truon. Our reference that we got is from Jack Eppensteiner. We got a portion from it. Atreus doing that of his jump off. We have other my main reference that I'm basing it off of, which is parkour archery video, which I've used before. Absolutely phenomenal. Really cool to just watch anyway. World of Warcraft cinematic trailer, which we're basing a bunch of our attacks off of, especially this chain attack, which maybe we'll go to do too deep. I'm not really sure. Some of her dialogue, grab. Well, we might not grab, but utilize as reference. It's good dialogue. So we're gonna do that, and then we have a little chain thing. Granted, I don't like using animation as reference. I'm using it as a basis for an idea. I more like to stick with a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to animate. I can't physically do myself, nor can anybody do. Really, so it's kind of hard to say. And plus, my wrist has been killing me, and I haven't had time to do it myself. So. But as far as the blocking goes, I'm actually pretty happy with most of the blocking, except we're going to change it up. So, or at the beginning pose, which we're going to adjust. Thinking about that's a adjust down, jump up. Oh, we're also going to add in more blocking passes too. We're going to do some. It's just working through ideas, but down, up, down, jump on chest, throw off. Fire, land, manifest the chain that's attached to his throat, pull him down. It was previously we were going to have her walk behind him and do an execution, say, "You're nothing," and then fire and dead and start at the beginning again. However, we're gonna change this up. We're gonna delete these last 3 flames. I don't know why I didn't think of this the first time. I guess like I had this like real good image of like right here and having her say you're nothing, just firing. We're gonna change that. Instead, we're gonna do 180. We're gonna keep her from right here. Pulls him back. We're gonna just keep her there. And you're gonna be like, you're nothing. And then fire there. Main pose. That's how we're doing it. We're gonna go back and finish these blocking pass, and then we'll get back into the in between. Why are you check? Stand. I think we have a Maya crash already this early in the stream. Yeah, we do. That is standard. Alright. Alright. But we have our first crash counter. Hell yeah. Make them kiss. I could. They're pretty close. I'm not into dubstep. It's crashed. It's fine. Isn't even rotating in. But yeah, this is this is COD. I was playing COD some earlier, a little bit earlier. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know why my shelf just got obliterated too. Are you gonna behave? Chuck. It's not so difficult. You don't have a swivel up. We'll do that on the second pass of block. It's ridiculous. Close enough. This is a very interesting playlist for being complete copyright. Dude, like the hip controls are really weird on the. I always forget. I haven't really played with Advanced Skeleton in a while. I used to like this a lot, and now I feel like just the hip controls are like extremely weird. Like the Kale Figgins rigs are absolutely phenomenal. These I feel like are a slight step down. They have some really cool features, but they have a lot of problems too. Well, not not to complain. They're really good. They're very good to use, and I would highly recommend using. But slight differences in comparison to others. Shoulder controls are a little weird with their skin turn. That could... No. We might have another crash, folks. We might have another crash. Oh. I think we have another crash, and I think it might be the constraint that just crashed that. I was gonna go back and fix that now. So, what's really weird, and what I love about my new what I love about this computer, ever since I've had this, dude, nothing crashes, like, properly. So, like, it'll stutter, give me a second to save it, and then it will crash, sometimes. Obviously, before it just straight into crash, kablooey mode, but whatever. But I've been really thinking about this animation all day, man. And I just kept thinking, this is how the Makara should have freaking been. We're also going to be adding in the arrow today, hopefully, once we get through all this block. We're going to do this first pass, go back in between. Try and adjust the fingers and hands, because that's what I neglected this time. But we're still in blocking phase, so let's forget. Really want to forward post, you know. Nothing. That's how she does it. Sylvanas Makura. This is all bullcrap. Should not have ended like this. And she says, that's the kind of feel we're getting from this next piece of dialogue. What up, everyone? Sri Lama, somebody who I follow as much as I can on stream. He's a very, very phenomenal animator. What's going on? Glad I got to catch your stream today while I was at work. Because you actually started animating in the mornings now. That caught me off guard, because I used to be able to catch it like late at night. And I'm finally now catching it in the morning. I'm like, I'm at work, I'm up watching on my third screen. Still one. I don't know. You're talking about me like doing that work. It's fine. It's a lot of good background noise and studying for me. Yeah, I try and get up and write before work, but I just can't get up. Even my wife's probably giving me that. Like, yeah, right, you're getting up early. Well, I do wake up at 5. It's kind of early. I'm not too sure about this pose. We're gonna rethink this one. Oh, too many buttons. That's fun. I really can't say you're doing more important work. I was about to say you're doing more important work. You're definitely doing much fancier work. Helping train the youth of our military. So technically that's important. I don't know. But you're doing some really cool stuff, I bet. Really wish you could talk about it. Yeah. Wrong control. Nope. That's the one bad thing about this bracer too, is just because this bracer is here like that, I have to rotate the hell. That's better. Actually, I don't. Get a good in. So, I don't know. I started this yesterday, Shrill. I don't know. I just wanted to do a nice, like, somewhat cinematic in-game, like, execution kill, I guess you would say, with Sylvanas and this work rig. So she's gonna pretty much jump on his chest, back off, slide up, shoot him in the neck, and with the new cinematic, she ends up getting this new power. She's able to manifest these this chain. I was gonna have the chain manifest from the arrow that she shot, pull him down, come up and say you're nothing, and execute him and go back to me. So I had finished out the main blocking phase, but where she ended up going around him and doing that, like walking around him. But then I realized it's just simpler to just keep her in place, not in place, but same spot. So I was thinking about it all friggin' day. It was literally on my mind. I was like, I need to fix it. Fix it. Nothing. Aim the arrow. Oh, wrong. Swim. Yeah, it's work in progress. I'm never gonna be happy with this. Which is another thing about your animation. I don't know how you've like been working on that for 2 years. Very cool. It's a very good animation. Don't get me wrong. It's just 2 years, man. That's a lot. I don't think I've ever worked on one single animation. And I get it. You had a lot of work and you're doing a lot of things, especially with Days Gone, which I still need to beat. It's over there. Oh no. Yeah. Well, I only caught him since I think I started following you since like spring. It's not. Jeez. I wouldn't go back to it personally. I would just start a new thing. But at that point, if it was like 6 months at a time, 3 months maybe, 6 months now. Well, yours isn't that short, but with shorter animations, I guess I understand. But also, while working on this, and I know I mentioned it to you, I asked if you were thinking about doing it. I'm trying to start a web series. I'm working on the script though. Actually, more so a pilot, and I want a TV show pilot, and I want to see if I can get that going first, and if it doesn't get picked up, then I want to make it a web series. Either way, one episode, and I will eventually animate. And I want to model, rig, I want to do the whole shebang. Oh dang, 18 to 38? Some long animations are gonna kill you, man. I want to do the whole shebang on this freaking damn show, but on the first episode, I mean. First episode. Cool. I always mix up that damn control because it's so freaking huge. This hip control is really weird. Yeah. No lower than yeah. First or second thing in mind, but yeah. Well, I kind of learned, I guess, that, except in a different way. I'm never happy with any of my anime. Any of them. But at some point, I gotta turn stuff in. So I kind of learned that, but different way. More so that I just gotta turn things in. Because even this, like, I know by the time like I'm good in a good placement with this, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm gonna be so close to finishing, and I'm just gonna keep pushing forward. I know it's supposed to be a little bit slacked on the arm, but straighter. Ah, that's a good thing to know. Good to know. I did not know that. I always thought it was all bows, but then again, I've only ever learned compound. Good to know. I will be adjusting the fingers, like I said. I'm gonna do all the blocking first, then I'm gonna go back. Because it crashed yesterday. It crashed yesterday, and I lost all my finger placements and everything. Like, I had already gone to 50, and like I had all of them perfect. Because it's weird. The way that the hands are formed, they don't have like secondary. They don't have the secondary controls in the middle of the hand, and it leaves a space in between the hands. I hate when it does that. And this Ant Skeleton doesn't have the like the preset ones, so it's alright. That can work. It's not bad. Yeah, and the carpet's thinking. Should know it. I'm gonna pull some reference. When in doubt, Pinterest out. I don't know if that's an actual saying. I love Pinterest for reference. I was afraid we were gonna get something bad. I just wanted to check real quick. These weren't too bad. That pose, but obviously. I ended up just drawing out most of my poses. And I don't like doing drawings, but it's all we're getting right now. It's because I look up too many characters. That's actually a really cool art design right there. That's not what I'm looking for. This one wasn't too bad. Yeah, she's a pretty balanced pose. Decided I thought I was gonna do. It's not. Pretty good for him. We'll go back and adjust it. So he is pretty much done, I think. Just gotta go back to the names. However, I have this as the main pose, and I actually really don't like it. But I do like it. I do like the crouching pose immediately. Just patient jump. What we are gonna do is copy this and just adjust it. I don't know what I was thinking. I think it was she was like in a battle pose, I guess. That's what I was. Actually, what is her? Alright. Have a safe trip home. What is her original pose from? I'm gonna call it pose. So I normally don't like doing references from animation, but or other people's work. But the thing is, this is another person's character, so a little bit. Just have a still standing still. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not it. One second. 4. Funny thing is, I have Heart of the Storm. I could totally just turn that on and take. I don't want to do that. Here you go. Almost got it. Found it. Come on. There. So she's got a very wide stance and she's holding her. She was pretty crouched up, but we're not going to have it as wide. I feel like this one's a little more realistic than that. So we're going to... I don't think stand with that part of the stance. Care how long of legs you have, and if you're a 100-year-old elf, it's just... Like, I actually really like that it's like laying on her hip. That's actually really nice. The way that it's laying on her hip, I'm actually really okay with that. It's neat. I really like that. I really like that. That one. Should be able to do it. With that. Close. Good enough for getting that one. is forward. Good. Identical. So that's what we got. We fixed the main block. Down. Cam. Hey, just that distance. We'll get to it when we get to it. Nothing. And fire. Set in some in-betweens, and then we add in a few more in-betweens, and then we'll work out timing. And we might stop there for tonight, or we might get to the spline. Let's find out. Let's see. Be two. I don't want to use the tween machine just yet. Say that is because these two are actually so save better. We'll do one tween. So we might need to add a few. Oh. So everything's still small. Still in spline. Two. One lift off and then one just tight peak of the one after lift off and one, or we'll start with the peak of the jump and see if we need that's so one. So it's the twin. Actually, just with a simple tween machine, like that was pretty. It came out with a so bad. These beginning set are like really good. Really surprised right now. Yeah, those are really up, down, up, ball, slide, ball. Let's track this. Probably what I should have done. I want that. Let's see how close. Oh wow. Oh. I mean, it should be a little bit flatter. She might need to be pushed back even. Right now, it's hitting that semicircle. Technically, it could be. I feel like it's good position. I kind of can. It's not always going to follow a great circle like that, but it's a good starting point. I think that's pretty good. I can't believe I got that close by. Let's try and get her up. Yeah, it gives a nice little beginning arc. Up, down, bang. This actually came out pretty good. A lot better than I had originally planned. Well, I did do a lot of like really early setup for this, but yeah, it's pretty sick. I don't. No, it wasn't going. I do like the pose that she's holding. So we're gonna start playing this. We'll keep the same pose, and we'll just adjust it. Just want to lead the. Just want to lead the first. Oh no! Save! We're good. Still. Now he's making me think. Yeah, we have to slightly. I have to adjust the animation. I have to look up some. Okay. It's just a slight strength thing, but it's pretty damn straight. He is right. Very, very right. It's pretty darn straight, but it's like, in most things they're like really slight thing. And that's all I wanted. That's what I got. She has a nice slight bend. Okay, I'm okay with now doing a slightly forward bend in that too. Okay, happy with that. She keeps the bow straight out after firing too. Oh. Good thing I saved. Almost had another we almost had another crit. So I keep. We're gonna leave the arrow in. We're not gonna animate the visibility. So that arrow's constrained to the bow, and we're just gonna do visibility, and then we're just gonna have the arrow. Skip that. So let's check it. I think I want to create a little more hang time. So the other animation, God of War, when he does it, he fires a bow, he gets flipped back. I was thinking we could have done that and then move her back a little further. Had to move her back a little, but she's a full-grown woman, elf person, and I don't think even a recurve bow of that strength would be. Because plus, technically, she's holding out straight. It would, of course, would same. Pretty much the arrow that would be pushing her backwards. Arrow of that size, I don't think would have enough force. Atreus, maybe. I think they're doing that more so for. So, to show excessive force on how much that bow actually kicks. This, I don't think we really have to worry about that. Plus, we don't want it to be a killing blow. Kinda do. If it was a killing blow, we wouldn't be able to do the next couple of steps. So it can't be a killing blow. So. Oh. It's actually killing. Just gonna swastika. She would expose more of her body. A pretty song. I normally don't like super stuff. It's actually. Coming to get really? It's heart-shaped box? Oh, sing that. Oh, bye. It's weird, I wasn't always a Nirvana fan. Scary. I wasn't always a Nirvana fan. Didn't get until Nirvana. She's still gonna stay up in a. She's gonna open up a little bit, but not a lot. I like her opening up her chest though. Just from the reference, we could see slightly. See the force pull her shoulder back. So I'm very just like that. I like this ball one that she's making too. Then she's gonna unravel. She's gonna hold the ball form up here, then unravel and then stretch out. that was the most extreme. So we're not creating between a little bit and end step. The other thing is I really want to I want to show off as much of the bow. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Here. I want her to have a little bounce. Not too much bounce, but I mean it's a very deep pose, but I also wanted this arrow to be facing, which is really good. 60. It's not too bad. The only thing is when it's coming down with that much force, I'm just a little nervous that it's like too much. We'll come back up to a rest. Get more keyframes in between 5 and 15 on third pass. Third pass we're also going to do fingers too, so just straight. I still like that little, it's like pretty straight. I want to get that like that arrowhead form like really throughout the entire thing. Which its head. Same thing. Got this entire pretty good. And then we'll get in another key third pass 60 step. I did that. Oh. It's always terribly annoying. Yes. Not a fan of that hand. It's a good bounce, so I'm not opposed to it. But staying the same. I'm gonna reverse that. This one be. This one. It's a lot. Infinite times better. Yes. Travel our body a little bit. Let's see. Just add in another key. That one's pretty good. I don't think there needs to be a major in between here. No. Pretty good. We'll get a third pin. I don't even think it's pretty close. There. So this one's gonna need a few more in between 70 and 90. So we might actually change 8. So instead of her already stepping forward, from 70 to 80, what I think I'll do is I'll have her stand up in the same exact pose, just flipped around. And then as she goes to aim the bow and fire, she'll pivot around, move the left foot forward, and then get to this pose. I think it's gonna be much stronger. I think it's gonna be a much stronger move. Just looking at it, because this is a little weak, but I think you seeing her back and her going, "You're nothing," much better. Enough. And it'll get a lot more room to move the bow to get that, to really push that pose. Yeah, we're doing that. Done. Like, I'm really enjoying this animation because I'm having a lot of revisions and they're all coming out pretty good for right now. So we're gonna get a little bit more of her backside. Let the cape cover that so it's not too sexual. That's not the point by this at all. By she's supposed to be sexual. If I'm adjusting her hip and like it seems that way, let me know. I'm really only adjusting the hip because I think that's the way that the hip should be moving, not to over sexualize her, because that's not her character by any means. Maybe when she was like an actual elf and not undead, I guess. I don't really know them as far as anime. But when she became She Queen, she's strictly all about business, ruling the horde, ruling the undead. She's strictly all about that. She should not be sexualized. On third pass, we'll just. Oh, that's not bad. So this is gonna be the first one where she's getting ready to say you are nothing. Nothing. Thing is, I'm not holding it. You're gonna keep it forward. Yeah, that's what she said. Don't mind me acting. Just what I do to get in character. These ravines. Such a. Yes. Damn it. I hate that arrow control. It's so annoying. I'm not gonna worry too. So that's. Some shoulder controls can adjust the rotation of the entire arm. Others don't. Sometimes they just like the smooth. I don't know how I feel about that. But every time I'm gonna grab that arrow instead. Oh, that's gonna be. So the next pose is actually gonna be pretty similar to this. It's just gonna be higher up the arm. Head forward. Pretty relaxed neck too. Yeah. Third pass. Maybe at least the jump. No. We'll just the face last. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think we'll do it last. We'll just the face last. Nice. Perfect. I think that's good. It's very good. So now that we adjusted that, she's going to come back up to this pose. We don't have to worry too much about it in between now. We could get see, the reason that's why I did it the original way. It's because I wanted to build enough time so after she pulls it down to the ground, you have enough time give her enough time to go. But you need to create a little bit of time, so there's gonna be a bit of time between 78. We might have. We'll go. Yeah, we're gonna do another pose. It's gonna be similar to this one, except much more relaxed. So that she can build up to. So she can come to rest and build up to that, and then say you're not. Soft pose. That's very close to 8. What's up? What? Loud? I thought you were coming over and telling me I'm loud. Okay. Gotta come on screen. 1 second. And we're back. You didn't delete him? How dare you? Move it forward. Yeah, that's pretty good, folks. Start. Check.
He traded his guns for love, but he's caught in the crossfire. And he keeps waking up, but it's not to the sound of birds. The tyranny, the violent streets, deprived of all that we're blessed with. And we can't get enough, no. Heaven, if you sent us down, so we could build a playground.
I like that a lot.
For the sinners to play as saints, you'd be so proud of what we made. I hope you got some beds around, 'cause you're the only refuge now.
So here's what we got so far, fellas, ladies, everything in between. Down at the club. Crack myself up. I'm such a down. Boom, kick off. Boom. Chain manifest. Rope check him to the ground. Oh, nothing. She steps forward real quick, fires. Back to beginning pose. And we're almost done second pass, and then we'll do third pass, and then we should be good for the night, people. Should be done. This is going pretty darn smooth. Pretty darn smooth. Yeah, I think we only need one more for second pass. So we'll go back and like do a little bit more fine tuning. Third pass. So we'll fix the fingers for sure. I'll do the face though. I don't know. I've been thinking 3D, but I've been doing a lot of 2D at work now, and it's really making me think that. And I used to TA for a professor who did the chains on Hunchback of Notre Dame, like legit did the chains. And I learned a lot of 2D effects from him. I think I could do it. I think I could do 2D. So I have her. I don't know if you were here for that, but I did go back and look up a bunch of recurve though. They are. I'm not saying like I can do them, like well, but I think I can do them 2D. I have faith in myself, but this is how her. I don't know if you've seen it, but this is the new trailer, and the change just manifests like that. So. To do the smoke effect added on with it, me personally, I think will be much easier in 2D. Making the chain though and animating it will be better in 3D, but like combined with the smoke effect, not sure. I'm always a huge fan of like people doing 2D mixed with 3D lately. Like I've been absolutely in love with it. Like my favorite will always be the Battleborn opening sequence where they have the 2D characters on a 3D background with a lot of 2D. And that was done by Secret Sauce Animation Studios up in Canada, Montreal. They're out of, but they're the ones who did most of the animation for sequence for. I still love that game, and it's a shame what happened. We're not getting into that. it could work, and I think the more 2D you do with it, make the 2D 3D combo better. But we're gonna do that one by ear. I could just do a rope and just say screw it and just do it in 3D, which would be the easiest thing to do. But I'm not sure. Still a lot I'm gonna. I've seen somebody do it on. The last time I did an animation stream, I did it for the Anim challenge, or that was for the emote challenge, right? It's the theme. And somebody did pretty much like a scorpion thing, and they did a really good 3D animation of whip thing, as I forget what it's called. I know it's not a whip. Forgive me. I've had a long day. Anyway, what they did was they ended up using like a lot of it straight, and then like a bunch of frames where it's like crazily extended, and it worked really. We could play with that too. So I have given it thought, and I really want to do 2D, only to get my 2D skills back up. But I'm afraid it'll make it look bad. I know how to do it. I have a Wacom, one of the budget Wacom ones, the 16-inch. It's so good. I have it at work too. Like, I specifically asked for it at work because it's so good. They wanted us to have the 13 Pros, and I was like, and it was funny. Somebody else got the 13 Pro. And it's just been having so much problems. Like, that's why you go with this. Really think I want to do it 2D. We're gonna try it 2D first. If that don't work out, we'll do it 3D. Maybe add smoke. See if we can. I feel like the smoke effects are just gonna be extra. We're gonna do. I do want to give the ending pose singer. That will be it for the second. She's really gonna flex out her chest. Shoulders are gonna go white. Scary. Two. Oh no 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 no! Thank God. Oh, that was something funny. I had Jehovah's Witness come to my house yesterday, and I kept making a bunch of unintentionally making an thank God jokes. Like, stop. I just still can't believe Jehovah's Witness came to. It's like I didn't grow up in a big anything like that, or like, you know, like where that happens, and it was like I couldn't believe it. Like, I know it happens. Like, I hear people like tell stories of like Jehovah's Witness talking for like hours and stuff. But like, I just couldn't believe it. Like I was so Star Trek. It was in the middle of stream too. that was the worst part. The only reason I left stream was because I had my dogs outside, and they haven't escaped here at this house, but they've under different circumstances escaped, and somebody brought them back to the house. So I thought the worst, but I also hadn't heard them in a bit. I thought somebody was bringing my dogs back, and I opened the door to Jehovah's Witness, and I heard my dogs barking. That just baffles me. I didn't believe that was real. Not that I didn't believe it, it's just... I think it's a joke or something. Oh, wait. Oh, no. No, we're gonna do the cape last. So I hid a bunch of stuff, but she's got like 2 gigantic shoulder pads. Pauldrons, sorry. She's a leather wearer. They should be pads, not... Whatever. We're not getting into that. She has a bunch of stuff that she's wearing. Cape, the shoulder pauldrons with feathers, quiver, arrows inside as well. Which we... Yeah, that's going to be at the very, very end. Very, very end. Almost done. We'll go back and eat all of that. I think you know this show, how to do a bunch of constraint animations and stuff like that. And I learned it like, probably about like 2 years ago. Just shortly after it came out, the Richard Lyko demonstration they did at the... Oh my god, why am I always in it? Game Developers Conference, GDC, thank you. No, it was Seagraph 20. And he explained a lot on constraint, and that alone helped me so much with like overlapping action. And I've done that almost every time on streams when I mean, that's not like the end finalized process, but it gives a really damn good basis, and it helps me to get the overlapping act, hair, cape. Well, the cape maybe. I think I've tried it with the cape before, and this particular cape it won't work, just the way it was rigged. I think there's only 1 control thing. There's 3, but it's not like well rigged. It should be better. It should be done more like as an effects thing. But whatever. Not gonna mess with it. We're gonna animate it as best as we can by hand. That's much better. Done with second. Perfect. I really enjoy this. I think this is a good setup. Start. Face we're gonna do at the end, because we're not gonna see too much of her face anyway. Unless I want to get in close. If anything, we're just gonna I'll add in facial details. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm not gonna skip it. We'll add it in. We'll do it at the end. It's gonna be the part. The hair is the only thing I'm worried about, because I think that was another weird thing, was the hair underneath it. Excellent. The orc is pretty much a secondary character for right now, and you were actually like dealing with it too. He's got tiny background where you had a lot of subtle animation background focus on the adventurer character. Same thing that's going on right here, but throughout the entire animation. She's the main focus. He's gonna be just a body. And I was originally going to use like one of the body mechanics rigs, but I forgot I had this orc, and I said, and it creates a little bit more of a story if I say this is how the Makara should have gone with Sourfang, but whatever. After we do this third pass, we'll try and get a second pass at the orc. Hit that done. He's not gonna need it. That's all I'm gonna do. Stay. You get some sleep. I am probably gonna only be on for like another 20 minutes anyway, depending how far I get with this. I don't think this will take 20. I mean, like, I think it'll take longer than 20 minutes, so. I will catch you next stream, though. Hopefully it's not while I'm at work, but I will definitely catch you. Have a good one. Can't see the rest of the hand. To me. So this hand is not gonna. Where's the thing? She should be. Not really, it's tight.
Yeah, I've been living my life on the west side. I'ma ride till I die, getting so high. Up in the sky, blue eyes, match the blue tide. I can feel the butterflies on the inside. And we keep doing some more. Her favorite drink that I pour. Cali got me so bored. I'm finna head out on tour. And we don't roll through the 6, we roll through 9 in the whip. The weather looking so big, I'm about to get off the grid. Yeah, yeah, she be by my side every time I wanna run away. And I live my best life pouring up on a Sunday.
What's that here? Till
Yeah, she be by my side every time I wanna run away. And I live my best life pouring up on a Sunday. if you're doing it right. I ain't never going back, heading straight towards the light. Yeah, yeah, she be by my side every time I wanna run away. And I live my best life, pouring up on a Sunday. Yeah, she be by my side every time I wanna run away. And I live my best life, pouring up on a Sunday.
Good thing. Dang. Tired dang. We could copy him. And the other one to do. This one's gonna be easier in a sense that she's not holding anything. But she's gonna have her two fingers on the string. Very particular that because I do want it to get back to the basic pose, almost as if it is an in, whether it's cinematic or not. That's my focus for this. So I got a lot of it from the idea of Modern Warfare. When you sneak up, I mean, no, Modern Warfare was in the first games, but just one I've been playing. Where you sneak up behind somebody, you can either punch them or you could like hold the punch and do this really sweet animation killing them. So I kind of wanted to do that, but instead, I just felt like using Sylvanas because I love her as a character. Hey, James, what's going on? Wow, I think you're the first person ever to comment on my stream through YouTube. What is going on? Not expecting. Should be pretty relaxed. I'm just animating, man. I'm just how the Makara should have been. I'm a huge Sylvanas fan. I kind of it's the thank you for watching. Shit, man. Well, I haven't been live. Well, yesterday was the first time in like a couple months. I've just been adjusting to work. I've just been doing so much. Not a complaint. Not a complaint. I love my job. That's how you doing? What's going on? Copy that. Good. I really like how just notice I want to make her wrist bent down. Her wrist is very relaxed as she does. Really? Streams are helpful? I try not to make them like instructional. It's more of like a workflow thing. I'm glad that they're helping. That's great. I mean, I usually post more of my stuff up to Facebook more than anything. I also, like, I'm just getting back into this, into the streaming thing. So I'll post more to YouTube. I'll do more stuff with you. I do want to get back into gaming, but I just want to build more games. Plus, I'd rather be an animator than a streamer. We were just talking about work too. I don't like streaming's a lot. Like, pro streamers, I don't know how they do it. They have a lot of stress, and like to me, it almost makes it feel like gaming fun. At that level, I don't know, because you have like telling them what to play and when to play sometimes. Then again, I'm not at that level, so I wouldn't really. It really needs some extra. You do get a little bit of flexing better. It has it down here for the thumb, but you can get some extra ones for the hand. It makes it so much cleaner, so much easier to work with. It's like even the knuckles can tell them they're extending. And I don't want to translate them because translating on this is advanced skeleton, right? It's an automatic, not automatic, and it's not autonomous. I can't remember the actual. They just call it an auto rig. So you have a model. It pretty much creates a rig for you. General rig. They're really good. They're not bad by any means. It's just small things that I complain about. That's what this one is. You can tell by just the way that everything's set up. So you see it once, you see it a bunch of times. I've even used it myself on a bunch of games. Better than you? Maybe. I mean, I have gone through school. I am technically an animator, but I still feel like I'm new and all the time. I'm learning stuff every day. I'm glad it helps you. If it helps you, then I'm happy. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty good. So, where do we need? Where do we need another one? Sorry, just want to remember where we need to make things. Bam, can jump off. Oh no. There we go. I need one between 45. One more between 45 and 50. One more keyframe. In between, sorry. One between 55 and 60. That one doesn't need it. So it's between 70 and 80. It's like a longer hold. So, we don't really need a key. It's gonna be more like one. We're definitely gonna need one between. We'll do it. Should be good. From 90 to 100, it's pretty darn close. We should be good. And back. We're gonna keep it pretty similar so we can copy it. As far as I just want, so the reason I stopped and did that, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't in fingers when I should be doing fire in between. So if you're learning, are you learning with Maya or Blender? Or 3D Max? Or any other program? To make the switch to Blender. I said it before. Switch. But the thing is, I just don't have the time. Blender is a very good one. You are learning a lot. Yeah, mine's the first one I learned as far as animating. I did learn on Blender first, kinda. Then I got into Maya, and I just didn't really master Maya, but I don't think I'll ever master Maya. I think anybody can master Maya. I learned a lot just through animating itself. And I'm really getting into texturing and modeling now, so I could be making. Here she's about to draw this, so draw the bow. So we back to the first one, finger pose. But yeah, if you have any questions, if I'm like doing something too fast, like I will be happy to slow down. Yeah, I will say Maya is probably easier to learn, and there's more. Yeah, I got you. I recommend learning Blender more now than ever though, because Blender came a couple months ago with 2.8 update and they just did a 2.8.1 I think. Just did a second up, and apparently it's like ridiculously good. I want to learn it. It's just been so long since I've. So, yeah, if I ever do anything too fast and you want to see something, let me know. I'll stop and show. I'm doing a lot of hotkey pressing too, stuff, and I know I have my like picture in the way, a few things, a few controls, top left. I'm doing a lot of general stuff. I'm not doing like too much cleanup. Like I am doing clean as far as blocking goes. I'm gonna definitely go back and do when I spline. How much do you know? How much do you know of Maya so far? Like, how long did you transfer to a month? Recently started. How recently? High school, like college, just on your own? How are you learning? It's a couple months. Semester already. That's awesome. I do a lot of my best work over the summer. I feel like I just have more freshman into college. Which college? Or animation, I'm assuming? Maybe? I'm actually quite okay with that relaxed hand. I'm actually very okay with it. Oh, community. Nice. Honestly, that's the way to freaking go. That's where I started. To college in many moons ago. Years there, and then I went to the military, and SCAD. It does help going to community. It cuts off. It cut off a year for me at SCAD, but that's only because that's a whole different thing. I didn't get a associates at my community, because animation and 3D program was all new at that college when I was going, and professor left, and delayed all the classes there for like 2 years, already a 2-year school, so very wealthy, so like I couldn't school, and so I joined the military, and then I went out to SCAD, which is a very good school. Always recommend. Afford it. Not a cheap school. I don't know how my friends can. Not a cheap school at all, but it is very, very good. Name alone is pretty. It's pretty much what you're paying for anyway, because you don't have to go to a good university. You can honestly learn, even online. Just like build up a damn good portfolio, like a damn good. Just by yourself. No. Oh my god, we almost crashed. um, I only went to SCAD, and I chose the SCAD because I had two friends who had gone before me, and they both got ridiculously good jobs. One is now, she's now a director at Disney TV, associate director. One went to Microsoft immediately as a graphic designer. She started off as a storyboard artist though, but she's pretty famous at SCAD actually. We went to high school together, and but I went there because I knew that they got good jobs afterwards, and I went there to network. That's being what college is for. If you can afford it, I say go for it. But if you can't, because it is expensive, SCAD's like 50 grand a year when you're staying there. It's like 30 if you're nuts, if you're doing your own apartment. Which, it's a tough call. You will, like, colleges are mainly for networking. They bring in people in the industry all the time. They bring in Blizzard, not so much Blizzard, but Activision, Vicarious Visions, Activision. Epic Games they bring in almost every semester. They bring Pixar in a lot. DreamWorks bring in Blue Sky occasionally. A lot of big name places and a lot of smaller name places and studios like places in New York like The Mill. They get Blur, I think, every once in a while. They do things with PSYOP. They're really good. Even just meeting people, other friends there are really good. Like, I got my first job from a friend, so she not only got my first job, she got me my first internship as well. She's a very good rigger. She got an internship at someplace back home. She got me helping on it by doing some modeling, and that was a slight step up. And then she got me my first job at a phone game company. That was really cool. That was really cool of her. She hit me up out of nowhere both times. Just like, hey, we got a job opening. I know you're a good animator. So I'm like, alright, sweet, thanks. It's not. I'll do more. That's also another good thing to get into. Drawing, acting. You can actually get an acting course at your community college. Most community colleges do like a liberal arts theater program. Most of them do. I don't know if yours does. Definitely take an acting course. That, like, no joke, like that will seriously help out your animating. A lot of professors will recommend you take an acting course at SCAD. They have an acting for animation course, which I never got to take, but we did have workshops where you got to do it. Just being able to loosen up and act. I don't like acting much on camera, but yeah, that's a good thing. Don't draw too many cartoons. I'd definitely say draw more realism. I don't know what you do as far as drawing, but getting human is the best thing to do. But if you're good at drawing, keep doing it. I take breaks from drawing as a 3D. I keep going back to it. Like I have to. Shit, my professor, dude. First like real animation course, nothing but draw human figures, but he made us fill up like my notebook's in the other room, but like the 18 by 24 notepads. 100-page. We had to fill them up front and back, and we had to finish at least 4 of them by within 2 months just to pass the class. So that was a nightmare in itself. Not a nightmare. It was fun, but it's a lot when you have a few other classes going. I really do think yeah, definitely as many figure drawings as you can. That's what started me off really well. I had a really good professor at my college, Lucas Kelly. He's a pretty good painter. he is a good painter. That's his profession. So, I mean, he's meant to say he's very good at like teaching drawing skills. Very good at that. I like drawing more realism than it. I don't feel like I'm good at drawing cartoon stuff. As much as I love drawing comics, I am getting better at drawing cartoonized, stylized stuff. That's actually how I animate too. I animate more realistic style too. Lately, I've been breaking that. I want to break that. Now we'll keep this. Your drawings, man. Always good to go. So I'm gonna do. Sure, just save. So we're gonna do a full fist. She's gonna be grabbing the chain that's gonna be manifesting her arrow. Yeah, I'm breaking it. I am breaking it. I'm exaggerating a lot more over the past couple of animations. Spider-Man one, I did a lot of exaggeration. Life emote that I did last time. I did a lot of smearing. I couldn't really over-exaggerate too much. Because there couldn't have been too much different placement. This one, I don't think it's gonna be too much exaggeration. I think that the most exaggeration we'll get is gonna be here in this frame. I might stretch this one out a lot more and over exaggerate the stretch. Same thing with in between here. I might put another in between and stretch that and over exaggerate that and get the balance going. Oh, that's another thing. Since you're new, get the oh my god, Animator Survival Kit by Richard Williams. He's the director of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If you don't know what that movie is, go watch that movie. But he learned under the 8 great men of Disney, who pretty much developed, well, between them and him writing it, they developed this book. Bible thing. I cannot stress how much you do have it good. If you want to get into game animation, I'll also recommend another one that came out this past year by Jonathan Cooper, who for a long time I remember him as being lead animator at Ubisoft for Assassin's Creed 3. Phenomenal animations. I think now he's at Naughty Dog. He's either at Naughty Dog or Santa Monica Studios. One of the Sony ones. That one's very good, specifically for game animation, because there aren't a whole lot of video game animation books, and that one I got a really good. It's really good. I remember him specifically from doing a fire that's one time, and I didn't realize who he was. I just was critiquing his work, and then I saw that he created a book. I'm like, hell yeah! Hey, Pro Scout 991. What is going on? Animating. What are you doing? I say that, I always randomly think of Star Wars. So, well, it depends. If you have a close-up shot, you're obviously going to focus on stuff like that. I get your question. So, when I'm thinking about this first, I do the whole body. I do the whole body first. I try and think of how the body is going to be posed silhouette, and then I will think about secondary stuff like the facial features and the fingers. mostly last. You want to get robot. I stay away from animated robot. Because kind of easy. But I think of the whole body first and the full silhouette. And the poses that I want to get. So you're really gonna think more so about the body. Its overall shapes, and I'm really trying to focusing on that with this and thinking about the silhouette it's going to create and how appealing it is. That's one of the 12 principles. So I think about appeal first more than anything. Its shape. So I have this straight A pose, which is very nice, and then I go straight to a squash circular pose. This one I might stretch up a little bit and I have a little extended, creating that A pose again, creating a ball again, stretching it out, have it stretching out, a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of curve, back into a ball shape, and then stretching it out, creating a nice arrow shape. So I like to think about the whole body first. If I'm doing a close-up, then yeah, that's more focused on that. I want to think of it as a whole first and then break it. That's what any figure drawing is going to teach you first, is you're going to have to draw pretty much an invisible skeleton first. If you're doing outlines first, it's not going to be the best thing. Structure and your overall shape of your forms. The proportions, that's the word. Your proportions are going to be off if you're drawing from outlines. So you want to learn how to do figure drawing properly, creating a proper invisible skeleton. I'm losing some of my words right now. When you get the form down and you start thinking about the silhouette, you'll start thinking about the form overall and the silhouette feel that like. So I sometimes look past the silhouette. And I'm saying that now is because that's what I'm really focusing on in this animation, is the silhouette that they're creating. Really hyper focusing on that. Shapes there. With a lot of nice A poses and arrows shapes. And that can lead you to where your eyes are going to be. So like this one is obviously the lead. Oh hey, this bow is going to lead you to the head. That's another secondary thing of just cinematics and period. It's where shapes can, where your eyes are going to go to, and you have to think about the traveling where the eye is going to go throughout the entire film. That's a whole science in itself too. It's a lot to think about, and when you think about the figure, you also want to you're going to get hyper focused into anime. That's going to happen. You're going to want that to happen, but at some points you're going to need to take a break, step back, and look at it from an audience point. That's very key, because you're looking at it like, oh, I can see this, I can see this. Well, you have to also think about what the audience is going to see, not just what you're seeing. You may see one thing, the audience may see another thing. And I have to constantly stop and think, like, is this going to look good? Is this what they're going to see? When I play the animation, I have to... I like try and focus to the point where I let my peripherals take over. I let my peripherals see what pops, see what moves, and what's natural. That's like the best way to. You can also master that. That's not something that's normally taught either. Like it's just something that you like just by doing it. And if you're able to see that, it's gonna help way in the long run. It's a good key to think about too. God, it's cold. It's 68 degrees in here. Okay, back to the fingers. We're gonna do the fingers and then I'm gonna finish up. One of the name. Gattlers. Wonderful. Yeah, we're gonna finish up with the fingers. We'll go back and redo the finish up the third pass. Let's say Monday, Wednesday. I know my schedule. I don't know where I have my schedule up on. If I have one. I know I have it on Mixer and I know I have it on Twitch. But those schedules are wrong. I will be back on Wednesday night around the same time, between 7 and 8. And get a lot more done. Thursday I have guitar lessons. Friday I have off work. And I'll be animating as early as I can Friday and just animate all night long. Same thing with Saturday, I'll get up early. Sunday I probably won't because I'm going to see Star Wars. So that's my schedule for the week. So I forget to say it later. We're gonna finish up the fingers, and I'm probably write some stuff. Right on my script. Right on my script, so bad. So that was one thing at SCAD I never got to do, is I never got to do senior film. I lost a lot of files. Oh, that's no. I lost a lot of files, and what's this? I never got to complete senior film. It's always real. I mean, I'm going back for my graduate so I can become a professor. That's the only reason you should ever go back to graduate school for, is to become a professor. No other reason to do it. But the military, thank God, is paying for it. Again, I would not be able to afford school. Before I got to SCAD, a little bit. But when I went to SCAD, I learned what I previously learned was not necessarily wrong. Just not the best thing to do. More so, did a lot of drawing. Like, I started off just drawing a lot. It's very artsy. So, I did animate in Flash a bit, but I actually went. I now I've been directing like a whole 2D production, and we tried to do it. Try to use Flash. It's now Adobe Anim. We tried to use Adobe Animate, and oh my god, it was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. So we ended up going in and using After Effects, and we found a really sweet plugin, 2D rigging, and we're doing it in the style kind of like Archer, which is really sweet. I have a friend who's actually working on Archer, and I was asking her for a bunch of help too, because it's a lot of 3D people learning how to do 2D stuff. Which is really interesting. Yeah, I know there's a hole in her back, but her cape is good. But I'm also going to be doing my graduate online, so I can work full time. Somehow. That one. Copy. Save. She's still gonna be. Yeah, that's much. Needs to be down. Because if he's coming down, like, she's pulling up, it's not gonna make sense. Shoulder. That's good. Like the relaxed hand pose right there. Half curled, you'll. I normally don't like animating or rotating inwards too much, because normally, like I said, there's usually like a wrist control or like a not a wrist control, lower side for each bone. Rotate home, and I'll do it there. I don't have a choice. This is the one thing I didn't draw out though, is I didn't draw out the hand specific. I mean, that's fine for thumbnails. Yeah, if you really want to get good, also study a lot on how comic books are made too. Specifically for storyboarding, that can actually help you out in framing out your shots better. I'm actually not the greatest at cameras, which is why I'm doing like a typical over the shoulder, or I might do it from the side. But I'm concentrating on the animation first. Camera lead. That's not always the best thing to do. It's just I'm not comfortable with my camera skills. Finding the right angle. So if you want to work on that, that's probably actually the best thing to do. Comics are really good at framing where things need to be. And they do translate into animation and where storyboards, just focus on learning storyboards. Like, that's probably even better. Comic books are really good, especially for art styles. Really. Duh. That reminds me, I need to go get some more comics. Sucker for a comic called East of West. Absolutely phenomenal. It's like a futuristic western about the 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse. It's so good. By Image Comics. Her middle finger is extremely longer. It's okay that it's longer, but I feel like it's like really long in comparison. Because it's still bent and it's still. It's gonna be. Oh. Whoa. How are we missing a frame? Oh, why did I? Ooh. Scared me for a second. Alright, for some reason it didn't have a frame, keyframe on 85 for the fingers. That scared the crap out of me. I thought I lost a frame. Hands can be fanned out. Honestly, that's the best thing to do is also to film yourself and copy yourself. Don't be afraid to. I mean, if you're making your own reference, copying your own animation, your own like video reference, is not a bad thing. People are like, "Oh, that's cheating." If it's actually rare, they might not say that, but if anybody does, it's not cheating. It's actually a very, very common thing to do, especially for learning. You're learning how things work. You're learning how timing works. You can take in a camera. So what you do is you put in a camera. There's a way. I don't know if you know how to do it. So when you create a camera, I'm going to need a camera later anyway, so it's not. So when you create a camera, and do attribute editor, go to environment, and you can create an image plane. What this does is you can take a video clip. I don't think I have any set up right now on this computer. I haven't done it in a while, but you can. What you can do with this is it'll create an image plane. You take a video clip, you put it through After Effects, you make every frame into an image. You can do it easily through After Effects or was it Encoder? It's easier through After Effects. And you create an entire sequence. You create a folder. You do like .001 and then whatever JPEG, and have them all laid out. Then you go in here into image plane. You find where that file is. Find the first file. Uses image sequence, and it will literally put your film, whatever reference you're using, into the scene, right behind wherever you want it to be, and the camera will just like display it kind of like a projector. And you can literally copy frame for frame the poses that you're doing, and it'll have the proper time. It's like you can pretty much skip timing just by doing that. You can. I know some animators or professionals that still do that. I mean, not that you still. I don't do that. Like I will still do that from time to time here and there, just to get a proper time, or to get proper poses. I'll put it in the background. But you don't want to use those as an entire crutch, though. And that's why people say it's cheating. It's good for learning purposes, especially, or even just building a portfolio. Just explain where you got your references and post them up in the background. I think in my demo reel, I have a. I realize it might be a copyright issue now, but I did a dance sequence, and from a dancer off of before there was the whole Fortnite dance thing, way before it, and people actually really like that, and they like seeing the reference backed up right behind it, and seeing where you got it from, how close you got it to your reference. People specifically asked me for it too. I wouldn't rely on it too much. You can obviously like rip videos off of YouTube. I mean, don't do that. What am I talking about? No, I didn't say that. Copy the last one. Pretty much done. By the way, I don't know if you're a fan of this music or not. I'm just using royalty-free stuff, like. I don't want to get hit by YouTube or Facebook. But it's in the wrong thing. Oh my god, how could you, Eric? Oh, so You came to the right person for walk cycles. So my first job, that's all I ever did was walk cycles. I actually have a walk and a run cycle of Sylvanas. I love cycles. Cycles in general, like not just walk cycles. So, there's actually, if you look in the Richard Williams book, follow that, like, to a T. Like, that translates to 3D so much. Not even in there, like, there's YouTube of Richard Williams talking about cycle. So freaking helpful. Definitely watch that, but honestly, what makes it so I used to be much better at mathematics than anything else in high school, and cycles are just so easy because they are mathematically easy. Like, you can literally program in a walk cycle. The 2D rig that we're messing with now, After Effects, you could a programmed walk cycle. Literally press a button and it walk cycles. Some like, I'm not trying to put you down, saying that whatever you're doing is wrong. When you're starting to create more personality to the walk cycles, that's where it starts to get difficult. And that might be where you're challenged at. Not really sure. That's where it can get difficult, but that's also where you can have the most fun, and that's where the freedom part comes in, as opposed to staying fine for the mathematic. And don't really follow those. Have I done a walk cycle on stream? I know I've done a walk cycle to a run cycle. Like there's a short little like 15 thing to a walk cycle. That's also neat and stuff like that. Usually that's procedurally generated now. Sometimes I'll ask for it. That was more so a test for me. Walk cycles 24 frames, 1 to 24 is where the foot makes a full rotation. It has the Roadrunner, I call it the Roadrunner, because when the Roadrunner runs, it creates a little shape that the foot path follows. And it follows that path, and once we start with the feet, then you hips, and everything else. It's the best way I can do it. Always do the feet in IKs. You can do the arms in IK as well, but for a walk cycle, I feel like they are much better there in FK. Again, if you don't know what that is, these legs are in IK, which is known for inverse kinetics, where it inversely affects the leg from this control, whereas forward kinematics comes from the shoulder out, and then you translate out, so that's forward kinematics. It's much easier. Using FKs, it's much better for swimming, flying, or air when it's not planted. When it's planted on something, that's when you want it, or on IK, which is why feet always touch the ground. Depending on your rig, if you have an elbow pin, that's a little different, and that's an extra little feature. Elbow pinning, which I think this one does have. Yeah, that's so this block is the elbow pin, and it's okay. It's dangerous to do, but you definitely don't want to do elbow kinematics. It's kind of hard to do. Elbow pinning can be hard, and it's also hard on a rig. Not many of them do them well. Just about done. Do you have any last minute questions while I'm on? Oh, wait, no. questions, man. Ask them now, forever hold your peace. I should just leave the graph editor up. It's good. All good. I love when people ask me animation questions. I'm such a nerd. Such a nerd about it. Oh man, I gotta work so much. Oh, I could literally talk for days just critiquing other people's awesome animations and stuff like that. Okay, so the one animation that got me like really in to just that was so cool. I'll show you two. I'll show you two, then I'm going to bed. Brink. So I mean, I was already going in. Not that Brink. Not this deep Brink. This, which was done by The Mill, which I actually interviewed for this, but I didn't get it clearly. So I was going through 3D school, or sorry, community college at this point, but I wasn't. I knew I wanted to work on games. I just didn't know specifically what I wanted to do. Like I didn't realize like animation was a thing until I saw this. I want to do that. I want to animate characters. Seeing like this cool parkour stuff. It was absolutely phenomenal to me. It has such good subtle animations, really good body mechanics for even being as stylized as it is. Because it's like a toonish hyper realism style. It's so good. The game was terrible, but we had a blast playing. That was weird. Actually, slowing that down, that was weird. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's when he does this roll. Oh no, that's okay. Never mind. Spider-Verse. Dude. Normally I'm not into like big cliche things like that, but the Spider-Verse is friggin' phenomenal. It's an absolute perfect. Like the story is like 9 out of 10, and the only reason I say it is because they are following. It's not. Sometimes I do like original things. I can understand that, but its story is like not too great, but it's good. But the way it's animated, absolutely flawless. 10 out of 10, perfect. It is this absolute marvel. They even brought in animation into its animation style story. Like, so for most of it, Miles is animated on 4s. I think 4s or 6s or something. I think it's 4s. 6. He's animated on a very slow, frame rate throughout the entire film until he actually becomes Spider-Man. He really takes the Spider-Man goes with it. Then he starts getting animated on 2s and much smoother animation style. And you can see the difference between him. He's a little bit jerky compared to this Peter Parker, who is animated on 2s, and he's much smoother. He's much more into the Spider-Man, like all the other characters too. The other Spider. And the way that they did that was absolutely nuts. They literally brought the form into the story, and that's just genius. That's just pure genius. Like, who would ever think to do something like that? And that's why that's just an absolute marvel. But I didn't have Spider-Verse when I was going through that. I had this. This was like a prime example for me. I thought this. Like, especially this final scene, this dude gets shot. Get a close-up of his face. And I just thought it was like seen Naruto, you know, those it's nice. Ah, is this it? I believe this is it. Oh, this is the one you're talking about. This is also a professional storyboard artist, so don't compare yourself to this. This is, yeah, this is a professional storyboard artist. So I'm just an amateur. Yeah, this is professional work. You can tell because they did it in 3D perfectly. They didn't. For this animatic or storyboard, they did not have to do all that they did. They could have gotten away without doing some of this extra work that they did. Yeah, this dude is a complete master. It's good. I don't remember that happening. I don't remember seeing like broken down to his skull. The other, after this though, we'll watch one more animation. They didn't have to do that. Like they didn't have to do that. Literally cut the. So good. I like how my music's actually kind of matching it too. Dope. So the other one that it didn't. So this came out when I was in school, but it's still a huge inspiration to my working now more than. As you can see, I watch it on a freaking daily basis. It's 2D characters on 3D background, but this animation, my god, like the power and the weight in this freaking so good. I was going through my 2D animation classes when I was doing this. When this came out, I saw it. This is great. So this was done by and I mentioned it before. I don't know if you're this was done by Secret Sauce, and they're up in Montreal. They're up in Canada somewhere. They outsource Gearbox outsourced the animation. They worked. Um, they also did it's like some secret Code War. So they also did like a series of that. It's just so damn. She was actually my main character. Her name's Deonde. Really cool. And then Wraith, is my about to come up. He's voiced by Vegeta too. This guy who's about to come up. This is Thorn. Her hair. So I TA'd for a professor who did a lot of special effects for Disney, And like both he and I watched this and were just blown away by like how good the freaking hair was. And some of these special effects. And he did a lot of fire too. Fire effects that come up. She was always annoying to go up against. Maximus? I think that's what. So this is just so inspirational. Boom. Oh, I also played him a lot. Wraith, that's Wraith. He's voiced by Vegeta. The guy who does the voice of Vegeta. Plum? Steve Plum. So the best part that gave me chills is when he does this blocks this thing. And he actually fights. The combination of the 2D and the 3D is so good. I am. That gave me chills when I first saw it, and you hear. Oh, it does the proper timing perfectly. I nerd out. I'm sorry. Love the video. Smoke effects are so good. Oh, stop. I have to go to bed. Right? It's upsetting because the game was never. It was compared too much to Overwatch because it came out around the same time and it was considered a hero shooter, which it's not. You know, the two games are like extremely different, but people bashed it so hard because everybody just wanted to play Overwatch. Overwatch is okay. I don't think Overwatch is as great as it. The animation is really good. Don't get me wrong. I just the gameplay. I don't find it that. This gameplay was good. This was more like a first-person MOBA. It's great. Well, it's great. I have to go to bed now. A little bit for I'm gonna write my script. Then I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for asking questions. Like I said, tomorrow I won't be on. I want to take a break or just night to myself. I'll be back one because I want to finish this hopefully back Wednesday off. All this week I'm working. This week I'm should be to animate a lot these weeks, and I want to finish it hopefully second week of. I think that's a good goal. It's a very good goal. Especially if I work all next week. And then I want to start one more animation. It could be potentially easy. Potentially. we'll get to that. Thank you for watching. Saint Cakes or Eric, whatever you want to call me, or just Cakes. I will catch you later, James. Everybody else who's watching, which I might do